Now that we have our data relating to dancers inverting or doing a dance move where their head stays above their feet, we have an idea of the characteristics of this feature of the movie. When I go to write a conclusion about dancers inverting themselves during this featurette, it happens frequently to me. I mean, to me, 23% of the time to be upside down seems like a lot, and so then we're not even like, anytime that someone was sideways, I didn't count that. That would be interesting to then look at the ratios of an inverted dance move, a sideways dance move, or a head normal, like, above your shoulders dance move versus completely horizontal. Anyway, I still need to be careful about my conclusion I'm drawing. I have a sample of the movie, a taste of it, a taste of behind the scenes, a taste of a first-person interview with one of the choreographers, one of the individuals a part of production. It seems to have a nice balance of different perspectives of movie making, behind the scenes, after the film is created, interview, and actual film footage. But it's a very biased sample. This was tailor picked to talk about choreography and feature specifically two characters, one who's super bendy and flexible and is likely to go upside down a lot, and one who's not. And we saw here, I mean, just with practicing taking that data quickly, I noticed that the inflexible character only did one inversion at the very end, where the flexible character did many, many, many throughout, was responsible for many of them. The point is, whatever conclusion I draw here needs to respect the sample. It's very important. And the ratios that are true in the sample may not be true in the entire movie, the entire population. So my conclusion here, let's zoom in so you all can see what I'm writing. For dancers inverting, I will say during the featurette, and I don't like that it's with Sherry Silver Sing Choose choreographer. So I'm giving specifics of like the context of where this conclusion is coming from. It is very important that when you're presenting information that your reader knows the specific context. Okay, so during the feature with Sherry Silver Sing Choose choreographer, we see many dance moves. We counted 70 to be exact. And 16 of those 70, the character or actor or dancer, I guess would be better. I don't know if dancers are actors, made a move that put inverted their head below their feet. Okay, so this gives context and so much description that hopefully somebody else could replicate our quick little count and get the same result. Dancers on our team or people that are watching who are dancers, if you know better, the actual choreographers, is that even counting dance moves, does that make sense? I think it does. I think counting in dance is important. The beats of the song, the tempo, the count is important. It's something I think is important in dancing. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So then dancers not inverting. So another way we could draw a conclusion is using percents. I'm touching on percents a little bit because they are a ratio. It's a ratio system based on 100 scale, taking any data set that respects 0 in the same way, which is very important. They both have to respect 0. It has to be a proportional. If you're comparing two quantities, they have to respect 0 in order for us to think of them proportionally. It's very important. And to think of things proportionally, if they respect 0 the same way as a true 0, meaning 0 inches means a lack of inches. 0 degrees would mean a lack of heat, right? An absolute lack of something would be 0. And then 100% is an absolute fulfillment of something, right? So, but that's hard to, like, you can't do that for height, really, right? You can't absolutely fulfill a certain height, but there is a limit to your height when you're a human, that you could think of that. There's a limit to the number of beats that you can dance to in a song. So that could be the idea of the 100% marker. I'm speaking to the microphone, so if I'm looking aside, that's why. Okay. So my conclusion for dancers not inverting, I could say in this featurette, dancers are not inverting during a single dance move I'm just going to say about 75% of the time, because I think it was 23%, so 25. The conclusion I can make about that is that the cast for making these dance sequences, because if you listen to the film, that Sherry Silver explains that the humans do the dance moves, and that's what the animators base the computer generations off of. So it is important that scene right there, I was wondering, like, should I include all those little dancers in the data set? What was that, a wall of, like, let's go back to that. I'm just distracted a little bit, but that's okay. There. If I'm counting a dance move, are they all doing a dance move right now? And, like, look at this array. This is really interesting. It's like an off-center diagonal isometric array, kind of like we have in the classroom with our pixel murals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 by 12, 144. 3 left, 100, it's like 180, 180. So, like, but I include all those dance moves, that changes everything if it's a ratio. Because if you're taking a ratio that was 16 to 70, and then in this single scene, you're throwing in 180 single dance moves of these little, like, dancers, that throws the entire statistics changes. It would be, instead of 16 out of 70, it would be 16 out of 70 plus 180, which is 6% so it would change this to 100 minus 6%, which is 94. So instead of our 75% of the time, it goes to 94% of the time. So how you're counting really is important, and replicating that. So I'm not going to count that. I'm going to say that when I'm talking about a dance move, it's more of a featured dance move. Maybe I could count all of these as one, and that would change this to 71. And if it was just 71, you'll see that it's not as drastic of a change. 16 out of 70 is 22.9. 16 out of 71 is 22.5. So ratios, that's what we're learning about, how a denominator affects the value. That's an important thing with ratios and fractional thinking as separate. That's something they share. The cast for making these dance sequences likely needed a skill set in flips and head and handstands. I don't know. Can I make that conclusion? I don't know. Can I? It's up to you guys to decide if you agree or disagree. All right. I hope this was helpful. I will post this as a reference, and I hope to return and make a video showing like recording actual stop times so we can collect data that is able to be used in the statistical tools of mean and median, other things that we want to practice other than just mode. Okay. Thanks, everyone.